why people are quitting veganism. Now, I already have a pretty good idea why people are quitting veganism. This is a no-brainer for me, but we'll see what he has to say.
At this point, we've all heard the phrase ex-vegan, and usually it's a phrase that's attributed to some online influencer, someone who was dabbling with a plant-based diet for a little while, and then makes this video announcing to the world that they're no longer vegan. Often it's a term that's used in the carnivore community to try and create this impression that veganism is just not healthy or sustainable as a lifestyle.
I wonder if he'll ever bring that up. Will he ever talk about the biochemistry? That is the real question. Or will he always keep it to an emotional argument and try to win over the emotions through being on a moral high ground? I don't know.
Rather than approaching this video, looking at ex-veganism from the perspective of people who go back to eating animal products for pseudo-scientific or pseudo-spiritual reasons.
Pseudo-scientific? Oh, really? Let's talk science, buddy. Enlighten me. Please enlighten me. This guy's there is no argument. Once again, there is no argument for plants being better than meat when it comes to understanding why exactly meat has more nutritional value. Phytotoxins, inflammatory marker. Glucose oxidation, more reactive oxygen species, meaning inflammatory marker again, and cellular damage. Lipid peroxidation. That's basically the same thing than reactive oxygen species. Inflammatory marker and cellular damage. Oh my god, dude. Vitamin and mineral content lacking extremely. Like, dude, come on, man. This is pseudo-scientific. This guy has no idea about biochemistry. But what I will say right now is already, I'm going to give this guy credit. He is insanely calm delivering this message. Like, he's eerily calm. He is a great orator. I can tell you that right now. Like, 100% certainty. He is how the vegan community is even, like, sort of standing in my view, because he is amazing at delivering a speech. Like, he's sort of like Obama in that case. Obama was very, very good at delivering a speech. Some certain people in history were just so good at giving a speech, honestly, and I think he's already one of them. I can sort of hear it now. It's really calm. He has no idea what he's talking about, absolutely none, but he's very, very calm doing it. He does it very in a relaxed way. It's actually, like, even though it's definitely not true, it's confidently portrayed and, like, vocalized. So really good orator, insanely good orator. Great job. Really great job, dude.
And the first is to look at vegans who are actually very integrated in the community. They go to activism events, they're surrounded by vegans, and they really allow it to consume their identity. But then over time, lose that sense of determination and then stop being vegan.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is, in terms of letting a specific thing control your identity, I think that's terrible. I don't know if he's going to talk about that at all. But yeah. This is one of the first things. You never want some specific ideology to control your thought pattern. Like, I don't know if I can consider myself carnivore. Like, yes, I do eat only meat, but I'm not part of the carnivore community, or I wouldn't say I am anyways. So already that doesn't necessarily make me follow their thoughts. I agree with some of the science that they might say, yes, but in terms of actual, like, thoughts, this is not you don't play the emotional game. Don't play the emotional game, because it's not, in my opinion, it's a dangerous game to play.
That side of it, but also the flip side, the vegan who goes vegan on their own. They've got no vegan friends, no vegan family members, and they're doing this as an individual on their own with little to no support from their wider friendship and social circles. And so I want to look at both.
Oh, you forgot to mention the third one. There's obviously a third one who quits. Yeah, it's the one who gets malnourished. The one who completely ends up getting emaciated, and in fact, some of them don't even quit. They just die in the process. Isn't that strange? Yeah, that's an interesting one to not include. Okay.
both of the psychology behind their decision making, and maybe understanding these issues can help us a little bit more in terms of being vegan ourselves, but also helping other vegans around us. So let's start with those vegans.
Okay, first off, if I could say the same thing about the carnivores, I'm just here to provide the evidence. I'm not necessarily here for like emotional support, honestly. Not my sort of thing. I got to be dead honest. I'm here to tell you the evidence, and you can live life the way you want to live. I mean, if you think that fruits and vegetables taste great, indulge yourself. I don't care. If you think that meat tastes great, indulge yourself. I don't care. I'm just here to provide the evidence and provide to you what, based on a biochemistry perspective and in terms of science, what is best. So that's in terms of health anyways, not actually in terms of instant gratification, because when it comes to some foods, like for instance me and loving spicy food, I loved spicy food before I switched to eating only meat, pretty much. I was addicted to spicy food, like literally addicted. So if I could have that without having to suffer the consequences of it, which are basically inflammatory markers and getting like acne all over my face and having an extreme immune response, I would go back for it, obviously. Yeah. So this isn't like a morality argument sort of thing.
Who come to activist events and are engaged in the community. Because when I started doing activism many years ago now, there was always a group of people that would come to different events. But the sad thing is, as time went on, a couple of those people who used to go to these events all the time stopped being vegan and are no longer part of the community.
Is that because they ended up in the grave by any chance? Once again, he's completely ignoring the other side of the argument. It's like some people are literally dying because of this. They get emaciated, they have no muscle mass whatsoever. After they get emaciated and have no muscle mass, then suddenly, turns out that they also have a vitamin and mineral deficiency. They're deficient in zinc, they're deficient in iron, and they become anemic. They're deficient in vitamin A, they're deficient in vitamin D, they're deficient in B12. Like, of course you're gonna get these problems. Of course you are. Their teeth start falling out. They start having extreme stomach pain every single time they eat, which was actually me. I used to have that regularly. I thought it was normal to feel pain after eating. I was bloated regularly after eating again also. Not a comfortable thing. So all of this is like, I gotta be honest, dude. You're really ignoring the biggest part of this argument. And it's the fact that there are a lot of people who suffer in the process of doing so. I don't know many people suffering in the carnivore community to that degree. Are some of them doing it wrong and they're probably getting some problems? Yeah, I would say so, probably. But I haven't heard of one that ended up dying yet. Not yet, anyways.
And I always found that really difficult to comprehend. And how could people who clearly know so much, who knew about what happens to animals, would show footage?
Know so much? People know nothing. You can't be serious. If people knew so much, we would be in a space age. We would be in a space age. We would have no problems whatsoever. We could probably eat whatever we want, for that matter, because we would somehow make our metabolism designed for it. Like, oh my God. Come on, dude. Come on. Know so much. People know nothing. It's literally herd mentality. This is a very, very normal thing. And I don't encourage this, by the way. I don't think herd mentality is good. It's just the way humans operate. And because humans operate like this, because it's easier to just play a game of follow the leader instead of actually thinking for yourself, problems start happening. Big problems start to happen. Really, really big problems start to happen. Like every single problem that you can probably think of. The obesity epidemic. Oh, that's one of them. Heart attacks going up. Oh, that's another one. Kids being malnourished as they grow up and only and growing short, not even growing up that tall. That's another one. Yeah, that is another one. Girls getting PMS and PCOS pain. That's another one. Like, it's endless. It's endless. Endless. People have no clue. It's a game of follow the leader, and if the leader is not necessarily that bright, and he jumps off the cliff, like, for instance, sheep do. For instance, sheep, if enough sheep jump over a cliff, the entire rest of the flock of the sheep will just jump over that cliff, completely not even thinking. It's herd mentality, and it's not a good thing.
Speak to vegans, and they will talk about how they find it really hard to be vegan around friends, family members, or just to exist as vegans. Now, I made a video.
I mean, I'm the only person who eats only meat around my house. It's not like I care. I have to. It's not a choice. It's not an option. This isn't like something like, oh, well, I would like to make the moral argument. I would like to do the right thing morally, but man, I don't feel like it tastes so good. No. It has nothing to do with morality. It has to do with the fact that if I eat a plant, I'm going to react instantly. I'm going to have some serious stomach pain. I'm going to have tons of pain. You're just literally inflicting all more suffering on yourself than you are the animal when you slaughter them. Because when you slaughter them, it's instant. It's literally it's not even a bullet to the head. It's like a nail. It's like a nail gun, sort of. It's kind of like a nail gun anyways. Yeah, it's way, way less painful. The slaughtering process is like very, very good at minimizing the pain. So, yeah, and you just decide to inflict all extra amounts of pain upon yourself in order to minimize the pain during the slaughtering process? Like, what?
Go times, people can then find it hard to maintain that conviction to veganism. Because the truth is, when we become so passionately vegan, which it is so important for us to become.
No. It's not important for you to become carnivore. I don't care if you become carnivore or not. There's no ethical or moral reason behind this. It's just, do you want to live longer? Do you want your body to be more efficient? Yes or no? It's not that hard of a question. And if you say no, then don't do it. If you say yes, then go ahead and do it. If you say no for this day and yes for this day, don't expect to be perfect, but at the very least, just know what you're doing.
Rather than taking the immoral way out, which is to give up on your values and ethics and to betray the very ideals that you were promoting.
Once again, the only argument, actually is no argument for veganism, not even the moral argument in terms of philosophy, because if you look at it from a philosophical perspective, once again, the reason why morals exist has to do with the fact of social cohesion. Social cohesion is what allows humans to work together in insanely large numbers and not actually betray each other over ego or over aggressiveness and stuff, which is the difference between us and Neanderthals. Neanderthals weren't able to work at our degree and at our scale. We were able to work at insanely high levels together. So that's one thing. I mean, oh boy. So the second thing for the moral argument is not just that. In terms of morality, animals have no sense of moral compass. They have no moral compass whatsoever because they literally can't comprehend morality. Now, if you go tell that cat to be a little bit more moral when they're playing with the mice, and they're not actually playing with the mice, they're literally catching it over and over again, ripping it and tearing it to shreds, slowly but surely, letting it go, and then catching it again, letting it go, and catching it again with its claws. Yes, ripping and tearing it to shreds. It's inflicting so much suffering upon that mouse. And here's the and not only that, not only do animals not have a sense of moral compass, the third argument is the fact that they can't take accountability for their own actions. So, for instance, in that cat, for instance, that just absolutely devastated and completely obliterated that mouse and made it suffer that entire time. Do you think that cat is going to realize, you know what? I actually made a very immoral decision, or an amoral decision, whichever one you want to use. And you know what? Because of that, I'm actually going to say, turns out that I should really lock myself up in jail, and I need to take responsibility and accountability for my actions. No, the cat doesn't do that. The cat doesn't even it can't comprehend jail. It doesn't even understand the concept of morality itself. Why don't animals understand morality like we do? Why? When a bull runs over and stampedes over like 50 people and kills them all, Are you like surprised? Like, it's an animal. It has no sense of moral compass whatsoever. It doesn't understand its actions. It's going to do that in nature, or it's going to do that in civilization. It doesn't matter where it occurs. It's going to happen. And herbivores, for that matter, eat other, like, herbivores will literally eat other herbivores. A deer will eat a bird. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. Or a chimpanzee will eat a monkey. If they have the opportunity to, they would rather. So once again, this is like, he doesn't know his argument. Honestly, it's crazy. Crazy. Great orator, though. Really. Great speaker. Very great speaker, because it's very, like, I guess you could say, emotionally nice to and pleasant to listen to. But terrible information. The logic and the reasoning is subpar for the most part.
Some people, they really struggle with that. They can't find that balance. They have this very black and white thinking where they have to go all in really hard, really quickly, and then it becomes anxiety-inducing and stressful and hard and depressing. And then they can't see a way out other than just to give up on it altogether. Now, that's not...
You know, they might actually just be giving up on it because they are becoming emaciated. And they went to the doctor, and then the doctor said, well, turns out we took your blood tests, and you're anemic. You're definitely anemic. And you're also deficient in vitamin A and vitamin D. And, turns out that you also have a B12 deficiency. Oh, and you're actually deficient in vitamin K as well. Yeah, that's... Oh, not only that, you're deficient in zinc, too. Well, like, the list is endless. You have to realize how many things I just mentioned that I listed off. It's like 7 or 8 deficiencies. This is insane. It's ludicrous. So to ignore that argument is... You're not just ignoring one argument, for that matter. You're ignoring 8 of them. Because there's 8 reasons. There's way more reasons. That's just including the vitamins and minerals. That's not including muscle mass, becoming emaciated. That's not including having extra fiber and ulcerative colitis or people with gut autoimmune problems. I mean, there's a lot more arguments.
It's not good. It's not ethically right. But I've always tried to rationalize and understand how someone so involved can all of a sudden go back. And I think it speaks...
See? Man, is he not a good orator? He's an insane orator. He's really good at this, yeah. Because what he's saying is, like, logically, it doesn't make much sense if you, like, take a little bit of time to think about it. But the way he presents it is so convincing because it's so confident. It's so calm. It's so, like, it's very well done. Very, very well done, dude. So, I'll give him credit there. Once again, gotta give credit where it's due. But absolutely terrible logic. A great orator.
Speaks to the importance of having an identity beyond veganism. Veganism should be a big part of our identity, but it...
Okay, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think carnivore should be a big part of my identity. I don't even know if I have an identity in the first place. I guess I'd say I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer who eats meat. Yeah, I'm a guy who plays games. He eats meat. He works out. Tries to stay as healthy as possible based on the biochemistry knowledge. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I have an identity. I don't really align with any community completely. Oh well.
Have passions in many areas, hobbies, likes and dislikes, and these things define who we are as well.
I'd say that point was good. Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. Yeah. Good job. So that was the first logical thing that I heard him say. That wasn't just logical. It was actually well presented. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Problems that we have as vegans is just the level of misinformation and propaganda that's spread against veganism.
Really? Enlighten me. By propaganda, do you mean like evidence that somebody literally died because of it? And they ended up not developing mental problems? They ended up having brain tissue that turns out you had a stroke because you've actually been raw vegan for like 14 years. Doesn't look like that's actually going to sustain you too well. So yeah, once again, this is next level. Next level delusion, honestly. Crazy. But once again, great orator. Great orator. Absolutely terrible advice. No idea when it comes to the actual information behind it.
Trying to argue against one thing, we're arguing against so many different things. And that's heavy. And also it creates doubt for people.
Yeah, that's a good thing. If it creates doubt, then maybe you should try to explore the truth on your own and look for the answers yourself. Who would have thought? So, yeah, this is to me this is crazy, honestly. I'm genuinely impressed. Like, this should be obvious knowledge. This should be very, very obvious knowledge. Stop. Like, if it creates doubt, then check it out. Oh, that rhymes pretty well. Yeah, if it creates doubt, then check it out. Learn it yourself and see the arguments for it. Because if there is information against it, then you should have that counter argument. You should know it just like this. Or, well, I mean, you don't have to. I do. Or I know most of them anyways. I don't know one that I haven't encountered yet. Yeah, once again, it should appear just like this. You should know it, and you'll go, oh, well, that's BS because of this, which is actually, I would say that's the school system's fault. The school system doesn't really teach people basic things and how to apply them to real everyday life. So that's a different topic.
Go out and you're constantly feeling like a pain, and you're constantly feeling like you're awkward, and you're causing these problems, and then over time that strength just slowly fades away because you're becoming weakened and increasingly weakened by just everything you're having to deal with. But
yeah, you're right. You are becoming weakened. You are going through glucose oxidation, meaning you are burning not fatty acid. So you're actually getting 3 times less ATP. So yeah, you are going to feel tired for that. You're also going to feel tired because your muscle expenditure is going to go down because you're going to get emaciated. I literally covered like tons of vegans being emaciated before. This isn't something surprising. This is just going to happen. It's a guaranteed side effect. It's not like the only way that you can prevent this is by really counting the amino acids, like knowing which vegetables and fruits to eat, like eating a ton of them also as well. I mean, it's absurd what you have to do because you have to actually start like knowing amino acids. You can't just know protein. You have to know amino acids. And it's very difficult. It's very tedious, very annoying, not easy. Or you could just roll the dice every time and hope that you are eating the right food with the essential amino acids in it. So that's another option.
how many people who stop being vegan have had a blood test and then have actually acted on that blood test?
Oh, I think there's plenty of them. In fact, I think we covered them in that previous video. You know, I remember that girl seemed to have, what was it again? Oh, yeah, that's right. Ulcerative colitis, IBS. She also seemed to have a zinc deficiency, I think it was a vitamin A deficiency. She also had a, vitamin D deficiency. And she also had yeah, that's right, it doesn't end. Like, once again, it's crazy. Yes, she had a blood test. And not only did she have that blood test, she acted upon it because she started taking all of these supplements. She started doing everything that she could to stay vegan because she was saying, she even said her son was a great example. And if you look at the son definitely did not look too healthy. I would say that kid did not look like he was going to grow up too well. Yeah. So once again, this is like, no, they're going to keep trying, but they're just suffering in delusion. And all you're doing by talking like this and being a great orator for that matter is just giving them that perpetual cycle of like, oh my God, he's right. It's important to stay vegan. It's a moral cause. Like, stop it. Know the argument of morality. First, at the very least, if you don't want to learn the biochemistry, just learn the argument of morality for why humans and animals don't have the same rights. because it's very obvious. Very, very obvious. I hope you ended up learning something. Honestly, I gotta say, once again, he is a great person when it comes to being an orator and an actual speaker. Like, he was really good at public speaking. But yeah, absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible when it comes to the information and the logic behind it, because he has no idea what he's talking about. I didn't hear the moral argument, and I didn't even hear the biochemistry either. I didn't hear two things, which are the only thing that vegans can really argue on is the argument of morality, because they can only play on the feelings of people. You can't really argue it from a philosophical perspective. There's a very, very good reason why animals and humans don't have the same rights. So yeah. Thanks again for watching. If you found the video helpful, please share it with other people. And if you want me to view anybody else, then let me know in the comments below. And that'll be it. Oh, no. If you want to see all my videos ahead of time, go to my join. Go join. Click the join button down below, and you can see all my videos ahead of time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Peace.